The Trump administration ushered in a period of significant turbulence in US-China relations, marked most prominently by the imposition of sweeping tariffs on Chinese goods. These tariffs, designed to protect American industries and address long-standing trade imbalances, represented a fundamental shift in US trade policy. This decision carried profound implications for the world's two largest economies and reverberated throughout the global trading system. At the heart of Trump's tariff strategy lay a belief that China had engaged in unfair trade practices for decades, costing American jobs and hindering domestic industries. The administration pointed to China's massive trade surplus with the United States, its alleged theft of intellectual property, and its policies forcing American companies to transfer technology as justification for its aggressive stance. By imposing tariffs, the Trump administration sought to pressure China into making concessions and level the playing field for American businesses. These tariffs, however, were not without their critics. Many economists and business leaders argued that they would harm American consumers, raise prices for businesses, and disrupt global supply chains. They warned that the tariffs could backfire, hurting the very industries they were intended to protect and sparking a trade war that would damage the global economy. Despite these concerns, the Trump administration pressed ahead with its tariffs, setting the stage for a protracted and costly trade conflict between the world's two superpowers. The imposition of tariffs marked a turning point in US-China relations, ushering in an era of heightened tensions and uncertainty. The ramifications of this trade war continue to be felt today, with businesses and governments around the world grappling with its legacy. The trade war between the United States and China unfolded gradually, escalating over several years as both sides exchanged blows in the form of tariffs and retaliatory measures. Understanding this timeline is crucial for comprehending the complexities of the conflict and its far-reaching consequences. The first salvos were fired in 2018 when the Trump administration imposed tariffs on solar panels and washing machines, a move widely seen as targeting China. This initial action was followed by tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from China and other countries, citing national security concerns. China responded in kind, imposing tariffs on a range of American goods, including soybeans, pork, and automobiles. The situation escalated further throughout 2018 and 2019 as both sides levied tariffs on billions of dollars worth of each other's goods. The Trump administration imposed tariffs on Chinese imports in three waves, targeting a wide range of products, including electronics, machinery, and consumer goods. China retaliated with its tariffs, targeting American agricultural products, chemicals, and other goods. The trade war reached a fever pitch in 2019 when the Trump administration labeled China a currency manipulator, accusing it of artificially devaluing its currency to gain an unfair trade advantage. This move further heightened tensions and cast a shadow over ongoing trade negotiations. While a Phase 1 trade deal was signed in January 2020, it did little to resolve the underlying trade disputes between the two countries. The initial reactions to Trump's tariffs from both China and the United States were a mix of defiance and apprehension. China, while initially expressing a desire to resolve the dispute through dialogue, quickly retaliated with tariffs of its own, targeting key American exports like soybeans and automobiles. The Chinese government accused the United States of protectionism and bullying, arguing that the tariffs violated international trade rules and would harm the global economy. The Trump administration, on the other hand, adopted a combative stance, arguing that the tariffs were necessary to protect American jobs and intellectual property. The administration dismissed concerns about a trade war, claiming that China would ultimately back down under pressure. Trump himself frequently used inflammatory rhetoric, accusing China of ripping off the United States for decades and vowing to win the trade war. This initial exchange of tariffs and rhetoric set the tone for the years-long trade dispute that ensued. The two sides dug in their heels, each convinced of the righteousness of their cause and unwilling to back down. As the trade war dragged on, it became increasingly clear that there would be no easy solutions and that both economies would suffer consequences. The initial reactions from China and the United States highlighted the deep divisions and mistrust that had come to characterize the bilateral relationship. The trade war, rather than resolving these issues, only served to exacerbate them, pushing the two countries further apart. As the trade war between the United States and China escalated, the Chinese economy began to feel the pressure of American tariffs. Chinese exports to the United States, a crucial market for Chinese producers, declined as American businesses sought alternative suppliers and consumers faced higher prices. This decline in exports had a ripple effect throughout the Chinese economy, impacting manufacturing, investment, and overall economic growth. The Chinese government responded to these challenges with a mix of short-term stimulus measures and longer-term structural reforms. To cushion the blow of declining exports, the government implemented tax cuts, increased infrastructure spending, and eased monetary policy. These measures provided some relief to the Chinese economy, but they did not fully offset the negative impacts of the trade war. In the longer term, the Chinese government recognized the need to reduce its dependence on exports and foster domestic demand. The government implemented policies aimed at promoting innovation, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, and boosting consumption. These structural reforms, while essential for China's long-term economic health, took time to bear fruit and did not provide an immediate solution to the challenges posed by the trade war. The trade war with the United States exposed the vulnerabilities of the Chinese economy and underscored the need for continued economic rebalancing. While China made some progress in reducing its reliance on exports and boosting domestic consumption, the trade war served as a stark reminder of the challenges and uncertainties that lay ahead. As we delve deeper into the evolving market, it's clear that rising costs are reshaping the landscape in unexpected ways. With every new development, businesses are forced to adapt or risk being left behind. This dynamic environment creates both challenges and opportunities, pushing innovation to the forefront. But it's not just about the numbers. The human element, the resilience and creativity of people, plays a crucial role in navigating these changes. So as we move forward, it's essential to keep an eye on both the economic indicators and the human stories behind them. Around the world, nations are responding to the trade war in various ways. Some countries are seeking new alliances, while others are doubling down on existing partnerships. The ripple effects are being felt across economies, big and small, sparking a mix of anxiety and opportunity. International institutions, like the World Trade Organization, are finding themselves at a crossroads. The established rules and norms are being tested like never before. These organizations are now tasked with the challenging job of navigating a landscape that is increasingly fragmented and unpredictable. The future of global trade seems more uncertain than ever. Companies and governments alike are rethinking their strategies, adapting to a new reality. This transformation is reshaping industries, supply chains, and even the nature of work itself. The only constant, it seems, is change. As we stand at this critical juncture, it's a moment to reflect and engage in meaningful dialogue. The trade war has highlighted the need for cooperation and understanding among nations. By coming together, we can navigate these turbulent times and work towards a more stable and prosperous global economy.